I set up Act the Facts in 2009 after 22 years in teaching in secondary schools because I'd used scripted drama to solve lots of problems. If I had a class, a GCSE class that couldn't or wouldn't revise, or an A-level class where they had a problem with a particular part of the syllabus, or they were struggling to answer exam questions, I would write a factually accurate scripted drama, and it just seemed to solve everything. It seemed to make it possible for them to understand and practice skills and course content. As a teacher, you don't have time to put on a play, but scripted drama isn't a play. It takes exactly the same amount of time to act out a factually accurate version of a textbook as it would do to use the textbook itself. So scripted drama is something that takes place within the classroom. It's private. It happens with your class. You close the door, you get them out of their seats, you get them up at the front of the room, and they act out the learning themselves. And then they sit down and do the work, do the worksheet, answer the exam questions, just as they would have done with more traditional ways of learning.
Ah yes, the French have been occupied by the Germans 3 times since 1870.
One school, for instance, it was a GCSE history script, and they were learning about the Cold War. And it's a complicated topic. They were doing the Yalta Conference, they were doing the Potsdam Conference, and they wanted a script that solved that problem. So I wrote a script, they were very happy with it, and we did actually have the most amazing incident where a student learned something quite spontaneously that was unexpected. He was being President Truman, and he was sitting on a chair, and he was messing about, because what we'd done was we'd set up the Iron Curtain as a great big, literally a curtain on the floor. We had a little bit of furry carpeting, which was Germany, and we had a bit of it this side of the curtain, a little bit that side of the curtain, and he had his foot on the carpet, and the teacher said,
"Get your foot off my carpet."
I like it.
And he said,
"My foot represents the foothold that America had in Germany."
He'd just come up with that all on his own, and it was exactly what they'd hoped that he would understand from it. And that's what I mean about scripted drama. You can never know what they'll come out with. They learn with their whole bodies. And you see in lessons afterwards, you talk about something. For instance, you might talk about the impact of France, and you might have acted out France in a particular corner of the room, and they'll turn and look, and they'll go, France, yes. And you just know that they've got a body memory of what they've learned. The script is written in close collaboration with the teacher, who's the expert on the students. They know what their issues are, they know what the blocks are to learning, and they know what outcome they want from the scripted drama. And once it's written, the school has the script to use with every class, with every year from then on. Doing exams requires a lot of sophisticated thinking. They're asked to remember a lot of information that they've done in lessons maybe 18 months previously, and analyse and evaluate and come to a judgment. It's really hard for students to do all of those things. How much easier to remember something you've acted out, where characters in a scripted drama have spoken out loud the different approaches to something, different arguments about something. One of the schools that called me in, it was a science department, and they had real problems getting their children to understand the difference between cloning, selective breeding, genetic engineering. So they wanted a script which made all of those issues clear. So when we did cloning, for instance, we used Jedward because they're natural clones. Well, they're going to remember that, aren't they?
And if any of the girls want any bits around the neck, we've got 1 or 2 things here on the table.
I've also done a lot of work with primary school. There's one script in particular that's addressed the problem of boys' literacy, which is an issue for schools all over the country. And that's the sentence constructors. And what it does is it allows boys to understand how a sentence is put together, but we do it physically. So we have little characters who come and change a sentence by being an adjective, by being an adverb. It's so much easier for a child of 6 or 7 to understand that than to be told, this needs an adjective, or can we make that a better sentence?
Please welcome the sentence constructors.
It's absolutely brilliant to have something that connects with them, so their local environment or popular culture. A lot of the scripts involve television programmes because of course they're very familiar with that. So you might find it difficult to understand how scary Henry VIII was, but if you set Henry VIII in an Alan Sugar type apprentice situation, you know how scary Alan Sugar is. That makes sense suddenly of why Wolsey behaves the way he does, why Anne Boleyn behaves the way she does. That's the trick, really. You find something that's familiar and you hang the unfamiliar learning on that in collaboration with the classroom teacher, and you've got something that really works. If you'd like to find out more about scripted drama, call or email me. I look forward to hearing from you.